Awesome. Thank you so much. Yay. Okay, we are rolling now. Okay, guys. So, welcome to our Monday Motivational Zoom. I'm super pumped up for this week because, to be quite honest, guys, I think that I have just been in my own little world of um, trying to get myself organized. And sometimes I have to call myself out. And normally, when I'm calling myself out, I put out challenges for my team to do the same things because it really helps me kind of stay accountable, right? And I'll tell you, I was just on a leadership Zoom with Stacy and Heather just a couple minutes ago and a whole bunch of other leaders. And Stacy said something. She was like, if I say I'm going to do a Sunday night Zoom, I'm going to do a Sunday night Zoom. Because if I don't, then my team's not going to believe that we're going to have this Sunday night Zoom, right? Kind of like these Monday motivational Zooms, which sometimes there might be times where the Monday motivational might be changed, a time period or different people leading it or whatever. But for the most part, the idea is to get our week off started right. So today I got up and I'll tell you guys, it's going to be me, Heather, and Kendra again tonight because I'll tell you, they lit a fire under me last week and just really motivated me. And I felt like hearing some different perspectives on some of the stuff we're going to talk about will definitely be what some of you guys need, just like I did, right? So the first thing I'm going to say is this. I got up this morning at 6 o'clock to do a power hour. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was here on the 4th of July last week. I was on the power hour. Nobody got on there. So about 15 minutes later, I was like, forget this, I'm hanging up. But I kept on doing my work. So this morning, there was only one person on, okay, at 6 a.m. And I said, well, I showed up. Kristen showed up. We're good. We got a lot of work done. During that time period of that 6 a.m. power hour, I got posts for the entire next week, including Monday morning, okay, ready for my team page. I have bingo sheets popping up every single time. I always have a training post that I post every Monday. I set that up to post every Monday at 12 p.m. Just a reminder for the VIP vault, because for whatever reason, if it sits in that announcement, nobody ends up enrolling anybody to it. So I just have a new post. I got some quality posts out on Facebook. I got meal stuff prepped for the day for my own personal. I got on my exercise bike today. I checked off lots of stuff. I called myself out on the fact that I initiated an Instagram accountability chat, and I totally have not been accountable. In fact, I probably posted less on Instagram since I started the Instagram accountability chat than I was posting on Instagram before. Okay. So today I said, you know what, guys, I'm going to get at least one post out. I'm going to get a couple stories out. I'm going to go and follow and interact, and I'll post back here when I get done, because I need to be accountable too. Like, I need somebody to call me out on my actions. But so anyways, the first thing I want to talk about is power hours. Okay. Listen, I don't want to hear the excuse that you live across the country and you can't be on the 6 a.m. power hour. You're not going to hear me say, get your ass out of bed at 3 a.m. and jump on the power hour. Nope. Not going to tell you to do that, because if you told me to do that, I'd laugh in your face. Okay. That's just the reality. Okay. But what I will tell you is that if you're not making time for your business, like, you guys, you've got to find those little inklings of periods of time throughout your day. When I used to work full time, long before power hours were even something that was in my vocabulary, I didn't realize that what I was doing was essentially power hours. Okay. So back when I was still working full time and I was in my first business, I used to literally, the moment my kids got to bed at 9:30 at night, I would start working. Like, I would post something on Facebook and then I would go over to Instagram land. And I had no clue that my solid actions that I was taking. Now, I wasn't messaging people. In fact, there wasn't even direct messenger back then. Okay. There wasn't stories back then. It was literally just posts. So you had to grab attention by post. You couldn't message people. You had to put your text for people to text you. Like there was no Instagram DMs or whatever. There was like some kind of app that you could get, but it was super creepy and you had weirdos that would try to message you on it, and that just didn't work. But anyways, I would sit there and I would just hustle. I would put posts out. I would like people's stuff. I would comment on people's stuff. I'd put another post out. And I was just straight hustling. I would use hashtags, key hashtags. I looked at it like this. If somebody were to use Instagram like they use Google, what would they be looking for if they wanted my product? So I started really thinking about that and generating hashtags based on whatever post I had for hashtags that people would want to Google. Instead of thinking of it of how I was going to make new friends, like I wasn't in that mindset. I was just, how can I reach the most people? And I kept on reading hashtags, hashtags, hashtags. So when you start using relevant hashtags for stuff like that, you're going to create some power, right? So this sounds like I'm talking about a hashtag thing, but I just went off on a tangent. My point is that I would work a solid 2-3 hours on Instagram. And I would sign a shit ton of customers. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to tell you I was a beast. What I was doing was working, and I wasn't going to slow the momentum of it down because I had grabbed some people's attention, right? But what that taught me was the more consistent I stayed with something like that, even if I could only work 1 hour a day, if I worked that 1 hour solid with intention, making those new friends, posting, not just scrolling, not just talking to every Sally, Sue, and Mary, actually talking to people that I would want to work with or people that I thought could benefit from the product, building those relationships, whatever it was during that time period of an hour, then I was getting a lot of stuff done. So like I said, it wasn't a matter of me having all the time in the world. I didn't. In fact, from 7 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night, you maybe saw 1 or 2 things from me. You certainly didn't see me posting all day or replying to people all day or messaging people all day, because I couldn't because of my job. And just like when I was at work at the hospital, I worked 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So I had to be at work at 6:30. I left my house at 6 p.m. I didn't get home the next day till around 8:30, depending on when I got out of report and by the time I drove home. So during that lapse of period from 6 p.m. till 8:30 a.m., nobody saw Amanda. It was like I fell off the planet Earth. Did people still know I was doing business? Absolutely, because on my nights that I had off, they saw my consistency. They saw me continue to post. In fact, when I go back on this day, I can show you. There's always posts talking about me and a product, or me and the opportunity, or something that this opportunity has done, or something positive. As I grew in the business, I stayed very consistent with, when you read my post, you can see growth. And if you can go back on your day and you're not seeing growth from the kind of post you originally started with, or the kind of mindset you originally started with, you're going to find that you're not going, the moment you stop growing or you never start growing, you're going to expect to hit a wall. And so I'm encouraging you guys now to create a time period during a day that you can have your own power hour. It doesn't have to be on when Amanda hops on, okay? It doesn't have to be on if Stacy hops on. It doesn't have to be when somebody else decides that they're going to have power. Sarah Bailey just did one the night before last, right? And I wasn't able to hop on because I had something else going on during that time period. But the people that did hop on, they were productive. They got shit done. And that's the reality, is that if you need that accountability, then find some people, post on your team page, be like, who wants to hop on a power hour? You guys hop on a power hour and do solid action. Shut your mouths, put on a list of intentions, put some music on, and get that stuff on the roll, right? Because if you don't, you're not going to get those things checked off. Like, and make a actual list. Like, my biggest mistake, guys, is I keep on putting my list in my phone. And because I keep on putting that list in my phone, I have to go and search it out. instead of putting my list on pen and paper. I don't know how many of you guys read Paul's post earlier, but the reality of it is that if you don't, most millionaires, okay, we'll just say millionaires, but I'm going to say most people that are successful in life do write down their goals, do have a plan, do have, like, I mean, even if you think about doctors or lawyers or whatever, right? What did they have to do in order to get where they got to? They had to study their asses off. They had to take tests. They had to prove their actions in their skills in what it was that they were learning, right? And eventually they got better and better and better, and some of them become some of the best surgeons and doctors around the world. But they don't get that overnight. They get that by continuing to learn new things, new skills, and continuing to practice those new skills. And when you treat your business like that you don't need to be perfect, but you got to start and you got to do it, right? So power hours are so powerful. Make sure you're spending them with IPAs, like income producing activities. For me, what does that look like? That means I am putting out quality posts. I'm putting out quality stories. I'm sending birthday messages. I'm replying to people's stories. I also have heavily been doing a couple different things. I have a blog that I'm working on getting consistent with. What that blog helps me do is create new relationships, because when I comment from myself. So what that turns into is those people then friending me, following me. I also run some promos here and there where I get them to follow me on my personal Facebook. On my personal Facebook, I'm spending time sharing my journey, guys, sharing my journey. And that is what's drawing people into me, is me being very truthful, very honest, very vulnerable, putting myself out there that I'm so out of shape it's not funny, and I don't last very long on a exercise bike, but I'm doing it. And that's going to help inspire other people that want to get out there and want to get healthy and want to eat right and want to just feel better about themselves, right? So like when you're sharing a Monday motivational post, instead of just picking a freaking Google image, guys, and putting it out there, put some thought behind that post of where you're at mind wise, and get a good quality post out there. If you're not somebody that can just wake up and just sit there and write a post, maybe even post it before you go to bed when that motivation is at a high rocketed time. Put that post and save it, save the draft, and then just go back in tomorrow morning and hit post. Because as soon as you go to write a post, it's going to show, do you want to post your draft? Yes or no? Yes. There you go. Now you've got your good morning post. So use your time effective or more efficiently, and it's going to be more effective. So I've been spending my time in groups a lot lately, building relationships. I take every opportunity I can of when somebody says, follow me, what's your Instagram? Or somebody says, who wants to be friends on Facebook, or who's posting on their, does somebody have a page that they share recipes? That's really why I started posting on my blog again. So I could credibly say to these people, listen, you can follow my blog page on Facebook, or you can follow me personally on Facebook. I normally share it there too. Or you can follow my Instagram. That's just a little bit about my journey as well. And I have little sprinkles of Thrive throughout all of my stuff, except for on my blog. I can't have it on my blog because Lavelle says we can't do that. But I have certain stuff that I'm sprinkling out there in order to create an interest, in order to create relationships. And those are the things that I'm doing intentionally. So IPAs, stories, creating those relationships, following up with people depending on the time of the day, birthdays, replying to stories, adding to your network, removing people from your network. A good way to check that is go on this day, see the people that you friended. Are they still active? Yes or no? If they're not, remove them. That's going to open up your friend space. It's also going to increase your algorithms, right? Somebody, I think it was Amanda Hall a long time ago, she said she likes to start the beginning of the month with starting with A's, works her way through her A's, works her way through her B's, works her way through her C's. Ooh, here, you're unmuted, Emily.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I think I got it. But spend time every day, like get a plan. Like if you feel like you're waking up and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I put a post out there. You guys, first of all, I'm going to tell you, people aren't going to join you because of post. Did you hear me? People aren't going to join you because of post. They might gain some interest because of your post, but ultimately they're not going to get that like, know, and trust factor from just your post. They're going to get that factor by you building a relationship, maybe you commenting back to them, you replying back to them, and so forth, right? And if you're skipping that step, which I'm going to lead into and get off of my power hour kick, because you don't have to do a power hour straight in an hour. If you have 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, do your 15-minute power hours, 15-minute hours, whatever. I don't know what you want to call them, mini power hours, 4 times a day versus 1 hour or versus 2 hours or whatever it is you want to put into it. Just know the more time you spend on doing those things, the more that it's going to pay off for your business. Okay, so we're going to lead into that. And Amy, I'm actually glad you just said that. We're going to talk about lives as well. And then I'm going to hand it over to Heather because you guys, she ended up going viral for her lives. I've never gone viral from my lives. I'm going to be the first to tell you that I've been very inconsistent over this last year with my lives. A lot of that came down to just my own self-esteem issues and things like that. And that was so dumb. It's not dumb because it's a very real feeling. And many of you are holding yourselves back because maybe it's a self-esteem or maybe you've been shamed before in your life or made fun of for whatever reason. And those things all affect our confidence, right? So we have to build that confidence. So I put out a live challenge for my team last week. And I can proudly say, even though I didn't do all 7 days, I did more lives last week than I had in months. Okay. This week I put out another live challenge. Last week, I just wanted people to start going live. Right? But I'm going to be honest, and if you're on here and you hear me say this, I don't want you to take offense because I'm very proud of every person that went live. But some people went live and didn't even show their face like at all. Like it was just like, let me show fireworks. Y'all start listening. Like here's my West Virginia girl coming out. You heard me say y'all, like seriously. Start listening to your audience. Like how many people saw the post last week for here's your friendly reminder, put your phone down when you're watching fireworks instead of like actually watch fireworks instead of the videos. Like nobody's going to watch that. I sure did. I saw that a lot on my Facebook. So I'll be damned. I wasn't posting about the fireworks. I was like, I'm not doing that. I may take a picture or something with it, but I wasn't going to go live. Some of you guys did. And listen, I'm proud of you for going live and hitting that live button and sharing. That was a stepping stone. But realize most people were seeing that same post I was seeing all over Facebook about not watching people's lives that had fireworks. So when you start paying attention to what it is that people need to hear or want to hear, value, okay, you want to bring value to your lives. What does that mean? I used to sit here and think about it all the time. Like, what does value mean? The reality of it is, guys, is that the value you should be bringing is something that is helping you, therefore could help others. Okay. Something that can teach people something that people can relate to, whether it's a story or a feeling, sharing things that have meaning behind them than you just going live. Okay. So last week it was just go live. People did that. We had like 315 people, I think, that went live, which is wonderful to see happen. This week, I'm hoping that we see that double because I added in something this week. I said, go live, make your title catchy. Okay. Make your title catchy, something that you would personally click on. All right. If it's not catchy, would you watch it? No, you probably wouldn't. I read titles all the time and decide if I'm going to watch something or not. Or if it's somebody that I love watching, if I have a chance, I will watch it, regardless of what their title is. But more often than not, it's the title that catches my attention, and then I will click on it. The title is something catchy. Make it about something that is going to bring value to those that are watching you, whether that is a recipe, whether that is an inspiration, whether that's a story, whether that's something you learned today. Maybe it's some product that you just picked up. Maybe it's something that you tried that's just not working out for you. I mean, you guys, I've airbrushed my face. I don't sell makeup. I've airbrushed my face on Facebook. I've done a spine corrector on Facebook, just trying a product. You know what? People laughed and it was funny. I wasn't trying to sell a product. I was like, you guys, I got to see if this works. Here, you want to watch me? And people come to that kind of stuff because people like entertainment. That's why they watch TV. That's why they watch Netflix. That's why all these companies make all this money and all these apps make all this money, is because people want to entertain themselves. So when you give them something to stay entertained with or be inspired by, it'll blow your mind. But I want to give you a little tip about lives. First of all, you can't grow from them if you don't do them. So start doing them. Okay. If you're somebody on here that's never done a single live, I challenge you to do one this week. One live this week. And if you're that scared, grab a sideline and do it with them. Do it where you guys are talking, interviewing each other or something. But your live does not have to be about Thrive. In fact, most of my lives are not about Thrive. Very occasionally. Tomorrow nights will be. Jamie and I are going to go live at 8, and that'll probably be about Thrive. But it's not very often. Normally a couple times a week, maybe. Some people, like Brittany, goes live every single morning, guys, and she's doing her 3 steps and she's doing her thing, and she's done that every day since February 28th of 2017. Okay, and you know what? I don't know because I hadn't pulled it up, but I would say Brittany probably has one of the top PPAs on my team. And she'll be the first to tell you that wasn't the case like even a month ago. Okay, but she's been back on her game and she's been confident, and she's going to close in her VIP part of her Jamaica trip and have Eric's qualifications done. And it's like, dude, whoa, what? And the same with Amy. Amy will tell you, Amy Hobson's on here right now, and she'll tell you since she started doing her lives, that's where almost all of her prospects have come from. That's almost where all of her potentials have come from. Because when you start getting consistent, wouldn't you want to join somebody that's putting themselves out there, somebody that's sharing, somebody that's confident, somebody that's going on the screen and sharing what it is that you need to hear about the business? Their tenacity behind it of sticking to it every day shows and tells people, I'm serious and I'll be here to work with you and help you. And that's a subliminal message that's kind of in there, right? But before you do your live, you should be interacting. Solid interaction for like 5 minutes, and then go like put your title up, get your video started, and then start your video, right? Don't wait for people to hop on your video to start. Just start talking, okay? Because most people are going to watch the replay anyways. Just start talking. Say things throughout your live. Can you relate to this? I mean, how many other people are getting storms? Conversational things back and forth with people. You want to have that going back and forth. Yes, guys, people used to say drop a 1, drop a 2. And I'll be honest with you, every time I did that, I never remembered what the hell I said 1 was or what number 2 was. So it's kind of like, I just talk because I'm not very automatic. Okay. I'm not very automatic. I'm normally out of nowhere and I go off tangents 20 times, but that's what people that watch me expect. They don't expect me to have perfect pictures or perfect lives or, perfect food plates. I always post on paper plates. I don't know if you guys ever catch that because I hate dishes, but the reality of it is that, right? So then once your live wraps up, you're not done. Now you need to go down through and love every person that commented on your live. Love, 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 love. What I like to do is I like to go through and love all my posts. Then I like to start at the top and start replying to them. Maybe they hopped on and they were like, hi. So then I hop on and I say, hey, thanks for hopping on, so-and-so. And I just like will remove their last name, but leave their first name, right? And I'll go down through that to each and every single person. And sometimes they'll reply back again, and then I'll reply again. You know what that does, guys? That's tricking the algorithm, and it's making your stuff show up more in your newsfeed, in your friends' news feeds, and their friends are more likely to see it if your post is public. So yeah, Heather, like I said, she went viral. So she can tell you that helped her business tremendously. And Heather, are you on now, hun? I know you said your connection wasn't the greatest tonight. Okay, good. Yeah,
I'm here.
I can hear you great. Perfect. Okay. So Heather, I'm going to let you just take this away, my dear, and just go for it, because I know you've got a lot to share on this one.
Okay. So like I'm legit listening to everything that you're saying and I'm like taking notes, right? But here's my biggest advice, you guys. Don't wait to be perfect, but perfect it by doing it, right? Like I remember doing like, I'll kind of give you like a backstory on my Facebook Lives, because I always say this, I was like the least likely social media builder ever, because I hated it. In my other company, I built belly to belly. I used to sweat profusely because people would say, you have to go and friend 100 new people every day. You have to do this and do that. And it would seriously cause me anxiety. I'd be like, I don't even know where to begin. I have no idea how to even tackle this beast of social media. And I used to literally go back and forth all the time. I'm so boring. What do I really have to talk about? I'm a mom of 3 kids and, you know, life is not that exciting, or at least I didn't think that, you know, I was lacking the confidence to think, really, what did I have to say that would add value that I actually wanted to go live about? Until I got an Instant Pot. And I was just like, this is the best thing that was ever made on the planet. How have I ever lived without this gadget as a mom? And I just started doing lives on that. I will tell you, by doing that, not for a strategic purpose. In the beginning, just doing it because I loved it and I legitimately wanted to show other people how to do it, how to use it, and don't be scared to do it. It grew my network by 10,000 people. And all I did was literally go live, and I look back at the ones that I did at the beginning. They were scary, but who cares? That people were not looking for perfection. People were looking for somebody that looked like them, that they were a mom at home trying to figure out how to use this gadget, but they were scared it was going to blow up in their face and they didn't know how to do it. And that's all I started doing was that, right? And none of them were perfect. They still aren't, because I'm not looking for them to be, but what I'm looking for them to do is to give value to somebody, to add something to somebody, to help them learn something. And I'll tell you, that was such a huge learning lesson for me in social media. When I went viral, right? And I went viral because I literally was brave enough to take my video that I made on my page and share it in a community of other Instant Pot owners that had like over 1 million members. I was just like, what do I have to lose? I'm so excited about this. I'm just going to share this. And that's how my videos, you know, kind of got 200,000 views on them. In the last year, I haven't been doing them. I'm just going to be super honest. I still have the following, but I have to work at gaining those people's attention again, right? Because the last year of my life, I've kind of, you know, taken some time to do things for myself. So over the last year, I've really worked on my fitness. I've really worked on healthy eating. And as much as I knew that created success and it created a following for me, it stopped feeling good for me and it started feeling forced. So when I started feeling forced to go live about that because I thought that's why people follow me, I stopped doing them altogether. And then I realized one day, people know, love, and trust me for that one thing, but that's not all I am. And I wanted to start representing myself in different ways than just, I'm that person. I'm just going to be brutally honest. I don't want to brand Instant Pot. I wanted to brand myself. That's what I'm here for, is I want to brand myself because I want people to follow me on my journey in this life. Like, just because you liked something last year or you were in a place last year, that doesn't mean in a year from now you're not going to completely evolve. But your change your journey, your process of growing, learning, and doing all of these things in your life, invite people into that. And if you've already invited them into your world, keep inviting them back in. So now when I go live, like I went live this morning and I did Motivation Monday. I didn't name it Motivation Monday. I literally said, who else fell off the health wagon over the 4th of July holiday and literally ate everything in sight and drank everything? I did, because that feels good to me. That's where I am right now in my life, in my world. I need to eat healthier. I started lifting. I started, exercising. I'm more physically fit now at 40 than I've ever been. That's the journey I want to share with people. I actually have a cooking page, and honestly, you guys, I changed it. I went in there and it's hard. You to be vulnerable. And I went in there and I said, listen, this is where I feel guided to go. This is the direction I want to go in, and I want to take my page to and my group to, and I hope you'll stay. My group is all about saying yes to yourself, because let's be honest, no matter what we do in life, if we're not putting ourselves somewhere in that equation, it's always going to be a struggle. Whether you're running a business, you're running your home, you're being a mom, whatever. So I'm going to tell you right now, just because you started doing one thing on social media doesn't mean that you can't change that. But you have to start it at some point, right? So that's why I said at the beginning, like, don't wait to be perfect, but perfect it by doing it. Because I never started out doing something because I wanted it to be perfect. And honestly, I actually stopped doing videos when Instant Pot was paying me to do them because they wanted it to be perfect. And I literally said to the CEO, you didn't hire me based on a perfect video. You hired me because you said I look like the girl next door and that I was relatable. But then they started trying to take that factor away from me, and that just didn't feel good for me. So I said, no, thank you. I don't want to do this for you anymore. I don't want to represent this, and I don't want you to pay me to do this, because it's taking away from who I actually organically, authentically want to be and what feels good for me. So you guys, I've had to shift and change, and I've had to get back up on the Facebook Live force. It's not easy, but I will tell you, it is such an amazing tool we have. You have the ability to share your heart with somebody. You have the ability to connect with that person, whether they are literally watching you live or they're watching a replay. I always think about a Facebook Live like this, like I'm legitimately sitting down with my best friend and I'm having a conversation. What you say has the ability to touch somebody, to impact somebody's life. And it doesn't have to be this big awe-dropping moment and you think, oh, I need to sound like Rachel Hollis when I go live. Y'all, Rachel Hollis, go look back at her lives from a long time ago. They sucked. They're not perfect now. I literally was watching one the other day. Her camera fell, her laptop fell, she was laughing. She's real. People
Heather,
want real. Yeah.
I gotta stop you right there, because I want every single person to literally like bang that in their heads. Authenticity will win every time. The moment that you start trying to be something, listen guys, and the pressure in this industry, I'm just going to tell you now, you're going to see as you grow, you're going to see people that are just blowing your ever loving mind. Some of the stuff that they're doing, you're like, holy crap, they've got programs for this, they've got that, they've got assistants, they've got all the good lighting, all the good pictures. They're like perfectionists. Just like it made Heather uncomfortable to end up, with Instapot, like trying to direct the direction that she was supposed to go when that's not where her heart was. She had to put a stop to that. And thank God you did, because if not, it would have derailed you. It would have derailed you, because it would have caused you paralysis. And I can tell you, there's been many times where, this past year I got involved with a coaching, like where I signed up for this coaching, and you guys, I spent a buttload of money on it. I'm not even gonna lie. I spent a buttload of money. I'm not going to go into it too much, but the thing was, about 2 months into the coaching, 3 months into the coaching, I'm like, I'm not learning anything. Like, they're not teaching me anything that I don't already know. Turns around, they wanted me to become a coach for them. Okay. For this, and it's a very well-known group. However, in order for me to become a coach with them, and in order for me to get moved up to the group that is actually more in the level of where I'm at in my business and leadership wise and things like that, they wanted me to like pay like another like 10 grand. Okay. And I said, okay, so this is a money scheme at this point. That's what I felt like. I felt like, okay, but these people are entering and paying big money to be in this coaching thing. But how are these people even having that money? I'm not saying you shouldn't pay for a coach, because let me tell you, I've learned a lot from coaches, okay, from different coaching things that I've been involved in. But the reality of it was representing something I didn't feel comfortable with. I didn't feel comfortable coaching people just to get them to talk them into paying for more coaching and spending thousands of dollars and all of that. It wasn't something I could stand behind. So I had to walk away from it all and basically throw the money that I did for the coaching aside, because I wasn't learning anything and I wasn't going to spend that. So just like Heather, you have to know when something feels right and when something doesn't, but don't ever think you have to be something that you're not. Just stay authentic and stay genuine. Sorry, Heather, I hope I didn't derail you too much. I just had to say that because I feel like it's such an aha moment for some people when they realize they can just be themselves. They let that guard down and they really, really do grow at that point. So, okay, I'm done.
No, I love that you brought that up, because literally that was kind of my beginning of going live, was that I decided one day that I was just going to be myself. Like, you guys, you are special. There is nobody on the planet like you. That's why we're all individuals. We all have things to add. You guys, be vulnerable, be authentic, share your life, share your struggles. Don't make a Facebook Live and complain, but make a Facebook Live if you feel empowered to do it, and share something that you're struggling with, but talk about how you're getting through it. I went live on Father's Day or the next day. This was the first year without my real dad. And he had just passed away at the beginning of the year. We didn't have a close relationship. We've never had. I was kind of struggling with the whole, how do I even feel about this? But when Father's Day hit and I realized like I don't have him here anymore physically, I went live the next day and I was vulnerable and real. And I talked about how Father's Day sucked for me. Because guess what? I had so many people reach out to me and say, you know what, Father's Day sucked for me too. Thank you for having the gumption to talk about it. That's the thing, you guys. We're all living in this social media world where you think everybody is perfect. I'm telling you right now, they're not. They are not perfect. Nobody is perfect. Their videos might look perfect. Their pictures might look perfect. We need more realism. We need more authenticity in a social media realm. So when I go on live on Facebook, I don't look perfect. Sometimes I'm not even showered. I just got done working out. But whenever the like inspiration hits me, I go live. But when you're going live about something, share something that's close to your heart, that you're passionate about, that you are struggling with, or whatever it may be. But always share what you're doing to get through the process, what you've done to help yourself, because that's one thing that we need to talk about more is, you know what, I really struggled with this, but this is how I got myself through it. And I want to help somebody who's listening to this right now get through it. It's kind of like Rachel Hall is saying, you know what, I carried that luggage. Let me unpack it for you, because I've already done it. Let me do that. I've unpacked that luggage. I've carried it all over and I've been carrying it for years. Let me help you break it down and get through it, because I'm going to share how I did it. Like, that's the gift we have our hands on, is we have the ability to impact people on social media just by being ourselves. So write 5 things down that drive you, that move you, that you love, that you're struggling with, that you've been through, and start sharing your life's journey with other people. Invite them into your world. Let them get to know who you are. Let them know that you have these things that we all struggle with, but not a lot of us talk enough about, right? That's what I really gearing my page toward, is like just my fitness, my struggles, things that I've done to heal, seeing a holistic energy healer, what that looks like. I mean, people have no idea what that even is. So like doing a live about that, I've got so many people that have sent me messages, and those connections take place. I have people that I still enroll as customers and promoters that literally followed me for Instant Pot and now follow me for fitness and say, oh my gosh, thanks for inspiring me to like not eat everything today in my house and drink more water and just go for a walk. Thank you for telling me to give myself grace and to love myself. Thank you for reminding me that it's important to give myself time every day to pour into myself and to love myself. Like that's where my heart feels led now that I'm leaving. You know, come back to me in a year. I have no idea, but it's a process. And we're all evolving and changing and growing. And like Amanda being vulnerable and going through all of her things that she's been going through with her weight loss journey. Think of many people's lives she's impacted because she's choosing to be vocal about those things. She's choosing to put that out there and be vulnerable herself because she knows her vulnerability is going to help heal and inspire somebody to do the same for themselves. What a gift we have that we are able to do that on social media. So I think I'm done, girl.
Heather, that was so bomb. And I hope that so many, because I'm sitting here and I'm listening and I'm like, yep, she's right. Yep. I'm like, thanks, Heather. Like, you just made me really like, I have so many different ideas of things that I need to personally, I could go live about and I could share. And, you know, I'm not going live for how many likes I'm going to get or how many people are even going to comment. What you have to realize, guys, you got to let go of how many likes and how many comments or how many people interact or jump on or whatever. Eventually you just got to let that part go. And you got to realize sometimes your video might get 10 people on, and one person might comment. Sometimes your video might just go crazy and it is what it is. The reality of it is that some people watch and never comment, never like, because that's just, they just don't know. Right. So don't let you going live or not going live be based on how many people are jumping on each time, because I can tell you pretty much everybody I know that goes live on a regular basis, when they first started, they didn't have very many people that hop on. And even still to this day, guys, sometimes I don't get anybody, right? Yes. See, Jamie's doing something super intentional. She's making a list of 30 different things that she could go live about. And the reality of it is that by the time she goes live and she picks one of those things that she's going to go live about, she's going to have so much more to talk about during that live about that one thing. So just being able to open up. Maybe you're a messy person. I'm a messy person. If you guys saw the fact that my suitcase is still sitting here from vacation. Okay. My husband's probably ready to pull my hair out. You know, I could probably create a live on trying to get organized and sharing my messy house, and I get a bunch of viewers, but I really don't feel comfortable sharing my messy house right now. But the reality of it is that's something personal to me, that I struggle with organization, at my house. But I'm good with my business, but I'm still not organized in certain stuff. So you don't have to be perfect at anything, but you do need to stay true to you. So anyways, I think that's a perfect lead in for Miss Kendra, because I know she's going to bring some self-talk stuff to you. And the reality of it is, guys, is that whether or not you buy into that being a powerful thing, it's a very powerful thing. And when you decide, that you're going to believe in yourself and you're going to say positive things to yourself, everything's going to change. So I'm going to shut up and I'm going to let her just take over, because I know that this is going to be good. And I know I'm going to be sitting here like jotting stuff down during it, because I already know. Kendra, where you at?
Hi, I'm right here. Goodness,
Yay.
the pressure is on, guys. All right. Well, excuse the mess. It's kind of fitting for today because I had some self-talk issues myself. Throughout the day, we were at the in-laws all weekend. We didn't get home until this morning. That's where we keep our boat. We have a tiki bar over there. We had friends over, all the things, right? And so all day today, I'm doing a little bit of bite-sized stuff here and there, but I did not want to work out. I didn't want to invest that time in myself. It's so easy to make those excuses, right? Like, I know Aleska's feeling me right now. She's like, girl, I feel you. And the last thing I wanted to do was do that. But you guys, I had to come to the realization, recently that I could say, you know what, I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to live a healthier life, Or I can start saying to myself, no, Kendra, you are, a runner. You are someone that enjoys working out for at least 30 minutes a day. And I had to change that self-talk. And this correlates with our business as well. Because when we feel good on the inside and we, are doing the things that kind of come full circle, we are going to be more intentional in our business. And, everything that Heather is talking about and Amanda is talking about really comes down to doing things scared, having that consistency. What are you telling yourself? Stop playing the compare-itis game and just doing the dang thing. Because at the end of the day, when you start to change those habits, let's say, you devote yourself, maybe 4 15-minute intentional breaks to work your business. Or you hop on a power hour. I know a girl on our team, Stacy, has power hours with Heidi every morning at 8:30. There are several opportunities for people to get on these, but, make it a habit of investing time into your business. Make it a habit of investing time into yourself, professional development, personal development, personally, health-wise. And those habits are what is actually going to change your life. Because when you look at these things that you want to do, whether it's having your goals that are written down, right? Because I think that we've beat a dead horse with this and we will continue to do so, knowing where we're going. And when you know where you're going, those habits have to change. I can't continue to eat pizza that's sitting out in the stinking kitchen because that's what my husband made for the kids for dinner. Smells amazing, but I can't continue to do that if I want to feel good in my skin, right? Like for me, I know that I need to feel comfortable and confident in my skin so that I can continue to be louder and share more about my passion, my journey, and help inspire and change more women's lives. Thrive is my vehicle. Lavelle is my vehicle to reach the masses, to inspire, impact other men and women, but primarily women, because that's where my heart's at, you guys. And so it just comes down to those habits that we have on a daily basis. Amanda started this live challenge, with so many of you that are on her teams. I know Heather and I were like, okay, I think we should start this live challenge as well. And it's not just for you guys, but it's to push ourselves too, because when we're out there holding ourselves accountable and knowing that we need to do this thing can do right alongside you guys, it forces us out of our comfort zones as well. But really everything comes down to those habits. And I had shared in Heather's group and Amanda's group and also in mine and a couple others that I'm a part of, a podcast. And it was just Bob Heilig. It's your virtual upline, you guys, feeding yourself something positive or, business driven every single day is so important, because I think what we tell ourselves so many times, especially when you're feeling down or when you're new in the business, if you're just going after, the daily mundane and you're really affected when people tell you no and that stops you dead in your tracks, what I would advise you to do is to dig into some professional development. Dig into a podcast that's 20 minutes, 30 minutes long to let you know that this is part of your journey. You have to continue to put one foot in front of the other. This type of industry, this vehicle network marketing does not happen overnight. You will hear overnight success stories, but you don't ever hear that dirt road that got them to that overnight success, if you do ever hear of that. It is normally someone that's been in the business a year or 2 years, and you all of a sudden get your mindset right in order to handle the blows and the punches that life throws at you, and you're able to rebound so much quicker. Right? And so I would encourage you guys, scroll the groups. You guys will find that. It's a quick listen. It was my 30-minute walk that I did. But again, one of my favorite analogies in there that he talked about was, well, there was two, and I'm going to talk about the smoking one. And it correlated to like when you have people on your team. Okay, so I'll give you the short story first. But people on your team, yeah, I'm trying to reach out. I'm trying to get minis in people's hands. I'm trying to recruit promoters. That's a lack of confidence, because if you're just trying, you're still lacking some belief in yourself or in this opportunity or in this business. But when you shift that and say, I'm getting 3 minis in people's hands this week, and it doesn't matter what it's going to take. I am a 12K in this business because I need a new car, and I'm not stopping until I reach my goal. There is no more try in this. And it's the same thing about, so the analogy they gave was about being a smoker, okay? And, you know, somebody that's quit smoking, or maybe you're trying to quit soda or whatever that is, you know, you say, oh, you know, what are your triggers? And somebody would come up and say, well, hey, you know, do you want to smoke or whatever? And they're like, no, I don't, you know, I'm trying to quit. Well, that person is probably not going to be as successful quitting than they are if they said, you know what, I'm no longer a smoker. No, thank you. And so that was powerful for me, because what do we tell ourselves on a regular basis? What do we tell ourselves that affect us, and that self-talk? And so I want you guys to really pay attention to that over the course of this week. Is what are you telling yourselves? You know, are you loving yourselves? If you were to have conversations with other people about what you say to yourself, do you think they'd be pissed at you? Do you think that they would no longer be your friend? Most likely the answer is yes. And so why are we telling ourselves those things? You guys are worthy. You guys are capable of whatever it is that you set your mind to do. I had the cards stacked against me. Teen mom, you guys are going to hear my story over and over and over again. But you are a victim or you are a victor. And it is a choice of what you say to yourself, what you feed your mind, and the actions that you take on a daily basis. You guys, I hate going live. But I'm going to go live when we get off the Zoom, Hot Mess Express, stinky. I'm glad you guys can't smell me, and just talk about my journey, because you guys are absolutely right. I just love that you guys hit it home about being vulnerable and about sharing your journey. And, you know, it's progress, not perfection. And the whole time we were on this, I took some notes beginning. But even that Paul Gravett challenge that he gave us earlier about, you know, posting whatever it was that he had on there on Facebook about getting minis out in people's hands. You guys, I've got my crumbled up, janky, highlighted, bad list here. I have 2 notebooks that I've condensed down into, and I'm just messaging like crazy. And, you know, obviously tweak those words and stuff, but it just comes down to, you know, dripping a little bit of the business, but really showcasing who you are. And so I need to go live and share my, you know, like, guys, I didn't want to today, and I will definitely do that. But one thing that I am sending out right now, and if this helps you guys, great, is to anybody that's either, I'm going to tweak it for my free customer accounts again, because I have several new ones, and my customers that have stopped ordering. If you guys have had customers that have stopped ordering, I think probably most of us have, right? They're excited at the beginning. They love the products. They love how they feel. And then for whatever reason, something shiny, new, whatever, maybe they have a medical bill they need to pay for, and sometimes they drop off, right? And so this message that I'm sending out now is this. Hi, I hope you and your family had an amazing 4th of July. We were busy at the lake and just came home today. I love summer in the Mitten State. I know you had trusted me in your health goals and Thrive, and we're loving it, but had stopped. That's 100% okay. I'm not asking you to come back, but I would love to know if you missed it. I have a sample pack with your name on it, simply for sharing what you loved. I have turned a corner and made my health a huge priority, and I would love to help others feel as motivated and excited as I do. I hope you know you're valued, and as always, I appreciate your support. So this is what I'm sending out to all of my old customers, my husband's old customers. I have team members that are no longer with us, so if I have an opportunity, I will send it out to their customers as well, for the ones that I've, you know, developed that relationship with. But you guys, I'm doing a couple of things here. One, it's building my confidence, knowing that they love the products. This is why I love the products. And the sample pack is just what I have on hand. It might be a couple sticks of Boost, like whatever. You guys do what you can, or not, you know. But also, I know I'm going to get some of those folks that come back and say, you know what, we had a situation. We're through that now. I've been actually thinking of that. I would love to get back on board. It gives me that opportunity to kind of jump back in. But 3, they're going to send me back pictures of what they loved about this. Guess what I'm going to use in my stories? My Facebook and Instagram stories. I'm getting a brand new group of testimonials. And for those of you that, I give you guys a couple ninja hacks here. I'm sure you guys do these, but you guys, I have albums in my phone. I have an iPhone. I don't know how to use anything else, even though I have other phones. I have albums. And so I have an album just for customer testimonials that I take screenshots of. I get them in that. So when I'm doing my stories and things like that, like that's one thing I promised myself is to get better, but I need new blurbs, new paragraphs, new stories from my customers that I can use that are personal to me. So just wanted to leave you guys with that. But Amanda, I'm kicking it back over to you. And thank you so much for inviting me on.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're on. Guys, oh man. So what I hear is genuine messages that you're sending out to follow up. It's not, hey, you want to order again? It's, I want to let you know that you are appreciated. And asking them what it was that they loved about it. And, Kendra, that little tip that you just gave about the albums, I live by that. I save all product PDF, all my product PDFs are in an album. If I have a really good picture of my product and me out and about or whatever, selfies, I have selfie album. Yes, I have a selfie album. I have albums for like the VIP charts. I have albums for promotion pics. I have albums for graphics, meaning graphics as in, positive, like so anything motivational, positive, whatever. I have a whole album for that. And the reason why, guys, and I actually do this to myself on Facebook too. I send myself voice clips. I send myself videos. So like when somebody asks, hey, does anybody have a good VIP video? I'm like, forward. It's so much smarter, and you start to work smarter, not harder when it comes to, it's hard work regardless. But when you're organized with that kind of stuff, it's like, it's night and day. You have yours in your Facebook Messenger too, don't you?
I do. And you guys, I also, in my iPhone, I have the notes section. And so there are certain notes that I use constantly with my customers. I have this hard eye message. My team knows what that is. And basically it just goes into explaining a quick, I use this when I am in 3-way messages so many times. So I'll ask what their health goals and challenges are. I share my story. I'm like, totally relatable, right? They're like, yep. And I'm like, cool. I'm going to give you good, better, best options. And is that okay with you? And I use this message every time. So I save the notes in my phone. I also have Thrive for free. So I have a section of notes in my phone just to send to my customers. So you do the hard work once, you find something you love. Same thing with posts. Maybe Amanda has a killer post about something. I'm going to save that in the notes in my phone. I'm going to use it maybe a month down the road, change half of those words, but you work smarter, not harder. And if you can organize yourself, that was one thing that I did right when I came here. From day one, everything was organized. I had a separate folder for a balance before and afters. I have a separate folder for burn before and afters. And all you guys have to do is search the groups and or ask and say, hey, who's got some before and afters with this particular product, and save them in your phone. Saves a lot of time.
Yeah, it sure does. It absolutely does. And it makes a big difference too, because you're getting back to people and you're sounding more confident because you've already got the stuff there, so you're able to reply a little bit faster. Sometimes they're like, whoa, you're quick. Like, I get that a lot. Wow, how did you have all that already? And I'm like, well, I have it saved. And the reason why I have it saved is because it's stuff that I know and I anticipate for people to want to know, just like the compensation plan. I have that saved in my messenger. So all I have to do is hit forward and they can look at it. I don't actually attract very many greens. People that want every detail under the sun. Thank you, Jesus, because I'm not very good at details. I'm just like, work and you're going to make money. That's how I've ran both my businesses. I didn't understand them until I've been forced to explain them to people. Truly, the reality of it is, you want to make more money, you work more. like, and you effectively, you learn how to work effectively, I guess you could say, efficiently and effectively. No, Kendra, I think you pretty much nailed it. And I think a lot of people can really, really relate to your words where you're saying you were trying to eat healthy, you were trying to get fit, you were trying to get, reach certain goals. Because I think we use that word try kind of like people use the word can't, and they almost sound the same to me. And the same thing with the word discourage. It's like they all fall into that same category because it's all stuff that we're basically telling ourselves without telling ourselves that we can't do it, that we're not going to do it, that we're not likely to achieve it. Because ultimately, I mean, can't does have the word not in it, right? But the thing is that when you say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to achieve this, I'm going to get up at 6 a.m., or I'm going to make sure I get my 30-minute workout. Listen, today I tried to talk myself off of getting on this bike thing, okay? Because I only lasted like 2 minutes the first time I did it, like 6 months ago or 7 months ago. I was like, and I'll be honest with you guys, I've had a belly issue all day today. So I was like, I could use that as an excuse. But then I said, but maybe if I get on an exercise, my belly will feel better. Like, I justified why I needed to get my butt on that bike, and my legs shook so hard the whole time that I worked out. But you know what? I made progress, and I got some laps completely done because I wouldn't stop until I finished the laps that it had on my little machine, because I just did the manual. I wasn't trying to hike up any mountains today or anything. I was just trying to get my butt moving and do the laps. If I completed them, then I knew I accomplished something, right? And it's progress, like progress over perfection. And when you quit attaching yourself to the outcome all the time, like making everything compared to that you're not there yet, that team, you haven't recruited that, or nobody on your team's doing this or nobody doing that. Look at yourself inward. What did you do? What can you do more for yourself? How can you grow yourself more? And I can tell you, I don't think there's any coincidence at all that I wanted to pair up with Heather and Kendra, and they just so happened to be on the same exact, we're at different places on our journey, but they happen to be exactly on the same journey that I am on, with wanting to seriously, and not even wanting to, going to get my health in check, achieve my goal weight, exercise, and become healthy. And I, we're on that same journey, and it's like, yeah, you are what you surround yourself with. So always keep that in mind. And I can't think of anything else. We've had a lot tonight, talking about, the Facebook Lives, the power hours, being intentional, organizing your time, self-talk. Is there anything else that you can think of? I know I've got to still I've got to do my live too. Can you think of anything else, Kendra? No. And I love bouncing ideas off of each other, just like Kendra and Heather said that, they saw my live challenge. They're like, yeah, we're going to do that too. I pull things from them all the time also, like challenges for getting customers and different things like that. Because guys, at the end of the day, when we listen to each other and we start paying attention to what's working for other people, and we think that we can grow from it, then we're all going to learn from one another, and we're all going to be better because of it. So I thank each and every one of you for spending time with us tonight. We appreciate you. And Kendra, just whenever that's done uploading or whatever, just upload it to the event page for tonight. And everybody have a great night.